They say when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. But where is the line drawn? Where have you planned too much and you leave no room for chance versus you planned not enough and now you're just letting life happen to you? I hope to help you find that line so we can draw it out. Control freaks, unite! Today we're talking about planning. It's like having a designated driver for your life to steer you clear of drunken chaos. Brian Tracy said, "You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control your attitude towards what happens to you. And in that, you will be mastering change rather than allowing it to master you." My thought with this quote is that it's perfect because change is constant. We don't have a choice in whether or not things change. And considering we're kind of dying every day, if you will, that's something that's inevitable. So change is going to happen. People around you pass, things go on. People make families. Families separate. Friendships are built. Friendships are disassembled. And all you can do is master the way that you move forward in those situations. Sometimes we let our emotions overpower us to the point where we get stuck right there. Oh, they didn't want to be my friend anymore. Now I'll never be anybody's friend. And you sit there and you let that fester. Now you're not moving anymore. But guess what? Even if you decide to stay right there, life is still going to go on. Life continues whether you're participating or not. Life is going to keep going. Your best option is, like Abraham Hicks said, to go with the flow, really. Follow the river of thought, the river of life. Just keep flowing. Don't fight against it. Even when you're in a dangerous situation with water, you're supposed to go with the current. You don't fight against it. You're just going to tire yourself out, and that's how you drown. Go with it because it's inevitable. It's not going to stop just because you don't like it. It may also not continue just because you do like it. And so understanding how things flow can help to plan a little bit better. Now remember, even when you're planning, not everything is in your control, and we'll touch on that today. But the things that you can control, you should. Don't let that one thing that's out of your control stop you from grasping the things that you can. But also, don't let it make you take on things that you have no responsibility for, right? The irony of trying to control things while in the throes of addiction versus when you get out is, in addiction, when we try to control things that are happening, number one, we're using controlled substances. I just think that's funny for words. But you think that you're controlling it, but really you're just kind of putting a Band-Aid on it. You're not getting to the root of it. You're not handling it. Versus in sobriety, where it's like you've got the ironic, you got the alcohol and the peroxide and the Neosporin, and you're actually tending to what it is that you can control. Also, in addiction, it seemed when I was controlling things, I always ended up in situations that weren't beneficial to who I was trying to be at the end of the day. I was controlling where we were going out to drink, what the drink was of the night, where I was going to end up later on that night, things of that nature. But in sobriety, I have a clear thought. I have a clear mind. So when I'm planning things, it's to move me forward. It's in the future. I'm always, unfortunately, like a year ahead. And really, I think the goal is to be 5 years ahead. But then my therapist will tell me the goal is to be present. So I'm kind of working on that part. I gotta understand. But I try to plan for the future. I'm here right now doing this, but I already know everything that I'll be doing next week. It's set out in stone. Now, what I did learn, though, is that there are things that are out of my control that happen. So I like to plan my schedule loosely. I like to plan it as though I have 3 things to do that day that have to get done and leave room for the nonsense in the middle. So I'm a note-taking girl. I love agendas and planners and notebooks. I've taken this particular planner with me everywhere. It's come to dinner with me every day this week, and it just stays open because you never know when something is going to come to your mind that you need to write down, right? So this is my planner. It's the best one. Now, this is all 2023, but I have literally planned months in advance. Like everything is planned out. This is November, and you can see I've already got like a trip planned and things to do. But if we go to the breakdown, this week I've done all of this stuff and I still have more things to do. This isn't even done. And I just keep going until I feel like, okay, well, it's time to take a break. And then I wake up the next day and I write in it some more. It helps me to organize my thoughts. A lot of times we think things are so important and they have to be done in this moment. But if you notice with your tasks, often if you schedule loosely, you can move them around. They don't have to be written in stone. And really, only I'm going to know if I didn't do it or not. So now I follow a schedule and it makes me feel more in control. I have more confidence in my ability to take control of my life. Whereas before, I thought I was in control, but I was completely out of control. I barely had control of myself, especially once you get to a certain level of intoxication, you lose control over yourself. You don't know up from down anymore. And all the things that you said you weren't going to do, you end up doing again. This is not like that. I have a schedule that holds me accountable for what I do in the week, right? Sometimes the day by day is a little too tight. In the week, these are the things that must get done. And I try to adhere to it as best as I can. And it shows me that I do have control over myself. The only thing that I have control over is myself. So when you feel like life is just happening to you, right? And you have no control, first, take inventory of what you can control, right? You can control not being out of your mind so that you have more ability to take more control, right? Then you need to identify what it is that you think that you're worth, what you feel like you deserve, right? Once you have that clear mind, take a second and get an agenda. Stop running away from getting an agenda. I can totally relate in regards to running away from sitting down with my agenda. I would buy them because I think that they're awesome, but I would never sit and plan anything out. And it's almost as if not taking that first step was me exercising that I didn't think that I deserved all of these things. I didn't deserve to follow through with this plan. I didn't deserve to make time to do these things that mean something to me. When you write in your agenda, you see what matters to you. And it helps you to explore what you want to do rather than what you're currently doing. You think that you have control because you know what you're drinking, you know where you're going, you know who you're sleeping with that night. Congratulations. Is that like the win? Is that where you find your value? Like, what else do you do? Even if you work, don't tell me, oh, I work. There's 24 hours in a day and you're working for 8 and sleeping for 8. There's plenty of time left to do something. Again, that's why I loosely plan. You don't have to do everything in a day. But in a week, some things should be completed. In a month, a few more of those things will be completed if you're writing them down. Do you know how many times you say, oh, I'm gonna do this. I want to do this. And often your friends will hear you say all that stuff 1,000 times and none of it will ever get done. What are your friends thinking about you? Do they think that you're serious? You ever notice when friends get together to plan a vacation, it never happens? I'm convinced it's because nobody has an agenda or a notepad and is writing this stuff down. Y'all are just sitting at the table drinking, telling me how you going to Jamaica and what y'all want to do there. And no one ever takes the next step. Another aspect of planning and control is budgeting. Budgeting your money. Agendas budget your time, but they have budget books where you can budget your finances. You tell me, oh, I don't have any money. Write down your finances. We told you last season how much you spend Friday through Sunday on drinks. If you take that money and put it somewhere else, what else could you be doing? You could be paying for therapy once a week, right? Just with your alcohol money. Never mind when you get drunk, then you want to eat, then you want to buy drinks for other people, then you drive around aimlessly. All of these things, you're wasting money. Your money is going down the tubes and you're telling me, oh, that's just the way the world's set up. I can't do anything. No, you're not being a good steward over what you have currently, and that's the issue here. But you say you want control, but you can't control yourself though. You tell me, oh no, I'm in control of my life. Everything is fine. I don't have a drinking problem. Okay, I believe you. It takes a strong person to admit that they do, and it takes an even stronger person to even realize it. So, okay, I believe you. But if that's true, if it's true and you have control, right, over your alcohol consumption, then let me give you a little test, and you don't ever have to tell me if you passed it or not, but you'll know, right? If you have control over your drinking, then I challenge you to do 9 days without drinking. 9 days. In the course of that 9 days, right? If you make it all the way through, that's your business. You don't have to tell me. But take note of all the times you thought about drinking. And honestly, I just hope you make it to 6 days. But if you really are in control, you should be able to do that without a problem. And how about this? If you do it because you're really in control, write in the comments, I'm totally in control. You don't know what you're talking about. I would love to read it, and I'm going to heart it, and I'm still going to send you love, and we're going to dance anyway. And you can have a drink, and I'll drink my water because I had a problem, and I was not in control. And if the thought of taking 9 days off from consumption scares you, or something inside of you just got mad, right? How dare she tell me what to do? She thinks she's better than me because she don't drink no more. If you felt that, you need to evaluate yourself. You need to evaluate your heart, because your body, your spirit actually, is telling you something. And honestly, it's telling you who's in control. Which spirit is talking? Is it your spirit or is it the spirits? With that being said, I've got some resources I want to share. I remember during the process of trying to take control of my life, watching a YouTube video. I can't quote the lady in particular. She said you need to take a piece of paper and write down what, when, how, and why, right? Please, come on, get your paper. You write them down. And then I want you to fill in the what and the why. And then understand that the how and the when are none of your business. That part you don't control. You only control the what you want to do and the why you want to do it. So it's what, like where your brain is at, the why, where your heart is at. Sometimes once you get down to the reason of why, you realize your heart is in a funny position and you need to fix that. So the how and when never matter anyway. But if it's something that you really want to do, the what and the why, and they just make sense to you and it works, then the how and the when is none of your concern. The only thing you need to figure out is what you're going to do first. Soon as you do the first one, I'm telling you, the rest of it just starts coming, especially if you incorporate God in it. Especially if you ask God, hey, is this what you want me to do? Is my what and why conducive to what you're trying to do with me? And he'll show you. So now I want to show you guys some information I've got that'll probably make the process a little bit simpler for you. So there is something called the circles of control. Again, I'm gonna need you to get your notebook. Do you have your notebook yet? Why don't you have your notebook yet? I'm gonna make sure that I put something in the description box so you can get the ones that I got, okay? Yeah, let's work that out. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw 3 circles inside of one another. So a big one, then a middle one, then a little one, and make it real big because you're going to write inside of it. So we're going to start with the inner circle. The inner circle is known as the circle of control. This encompasses those circumstances, issues, and problems that we have direct control over. This includes problems involving our own behavior and thoughts. Although we don't have the power to control all of the thoughts that come to our minds, we do have the power to choose whether or not we allow them to stay. What we choose to linger on is a big part of what creates our reality. Now let's move to the second circle. The middle circle is the circle of influence. This encompasses those circumstances, issues, and problems that we have indirect control over. This includes problems involving other people's behavior. We can't directly control them, but there's a good chance that we can have an impact or influence on them by our own actions and choices. The third circle is the circle of concern. It is also known as the circle of no control. This encompasses the wide range of circumstances, issues, and problems we have, but over which we have no control. This includes problems we can do nothing about, such as our past or situational realities. It's the biggest circle because there are so many things that we have no power to change. If we put our time and energy into worrying about things that are in our circle of concern, we will continue to feel out of control and helpless. But if we put our time and energy into our circles of influence and our circles of control, we will give ourselves a sense of agency and feel more in control. So this is where we need to focus our time and energy. We can't change our circumstances, but there is no point in investing time and energy trying to do that. But guess what? All is not lost because we do still retain our capacity to change our attitudes towards it. And when you change your attitude, everything that is around you changes as well because your energy changes. I learned in rehab, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And with that, I have a song. Today's song is You Will by Andy Mineo. So the first verse starts, when you see me, I'm an uptown baby. What you know about me? Oh, nothing really. Well, let's change that. See, I came back. I took a break, but now I break that. Formerly known, yeah, I made that. And them cartoons every Sunday, get your breakfast, tell them play that. Yeah, I got lines like barcodes. Yeah, I got jokes like Bart Simpson, no bar phones. And in the background, he says Moe's Tavern. I never noticed that in the song. How you acting dumb on your smartphone? Fishes of men, so I stay looking. Catch the nets like I'm straight Brooklyn. Oh, your life's so hard. Why don't you face your problems? Don't Facebook them. Satan try to make the straight crooked with the porn sites, but I ain't looking. I got bands that'll make her dance. That's a wedding ring for my wife. Bling. I'ma say that twice. Bling. Ladies, if you ain't got one, don't give him none. True love is waiting, and you're so worth that. I know you heard that bull crap, but if you're headed on the wrong path, go ahead and turn back. You're never too far to be made new. They say you're damaged goods. That ain't true. I testify to that. I ain't lying, Jack. You can check with my whole crew. And then my favorite part is the chorus. And I sing this in the car. I be going off. It says, why owe you owe me nothing? Why owe you owe me nothing? No, nothing. I know you will. 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 Even when they say you won't, I know you will. I know you will. Even when they say you can't, I know you will. No, there's nothing you can't do. Nothing in this world too big for you. So when they say you can't, I know you will. I know you will. I know you will. Okay, next verse. Verse 2. Some say you can't. I say that you will. My sin, it cost a grip, but Jesus paid the bill. You don't believe in miracles? I'll show you why they real. Some rappers don't got skill, but somehow they got a deal. Weird. I'm riding around in this airport, flying around on my skateboard and my glasses on like a stray dork. Oh, your money tall, but these days short. I love the haters, so I pray for them. See them hearts, we aim for them. So I tell the world and we stay touring and we do it our way. We won't change for them. This ain't no fast food. You can't order us. They looking so confused. What's the formula? We just really want more of God. No, we don't want more of us because he did it. We giving him thanks even when they ain't awarding us. And them strip clubs, money, drugs, come on, cuz you boring us. We heard it all before and I'm still unimpressed with that sort of stuff. We were made for more though. With them award shows and you thank Christ. That lip service don't mean nothing if you ain't about that life. So I know you will plan change. I know you will do the exercises. I know you will stop drinking for 9 days, right? I know you will tell me I'm wrong in the comments. This episode is dedicated to my granddad, Bobby Virgil. Granddad was a Vietnam veteran. He was in the Navy. He was the oldest of 13, and he was a councilman of New Brunswick, New Jersey. For me, Granddad was the flyest man in the room, right? If you like this tracksuit, it's giving Granddad, right? All I need is my little cross earring. Granddad was really supportive. He showed up at all of my plays. You probably didn't even know I did plays, right? He showed up at all of my plays with his video camera ready to go. He had videos of my comedy shows and he just would show up. He was always so supportive. I know he loved me. And one thing that he showed me in life is that you can choose your family, right? You do have control over that. You can choose who you love, right? We may not be blood, but I promise you, we're family. And that's the difference. We are family. He never made us feel like outsiders. He loved us so much. You can't tell me that's not my granddad. You will be silly. I was at his funeral losing my mind because I loved him. The love was real. And I chose him for this control episode because he chose. He chose. And he never let other people make him feel a ways about what they thought family was supposed to be. It was what he said it was. He had control over that. And I'm so grateful he did because that's my granddad, 10,000%. I love him. I miss him tremendously. And I just want to thank him. Thank you. Thank you. Because you didn't have to do it. You didn't have to do any of it. It wasn't required, nor was it expected. But it means the world. Okay, so I know the energy changed a little bit, but it's okay because I'm in control of how I feel, right? So with that said, you thought you wasn't getting a call to action because I start crying, but you are. How do you keep chaos at bay? Share your planning hacks or sober strategies with the hashtag planned sobriety. Remember, a plan today is a party tomorrow. I thank you guys so much for tuning in, even through the tears. I thank you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please give me 5 stars. And then go to YouTube so you can see my outfit, okay? And then like it there, okay? Thank you so much. And remember, if you are really in control, 9 days of not drinking is nothing, right? Prove me wrong in the comments. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.